Good morning. Well, it's not really morning. It's noon. What's up, guys? We're at West Fitness. Me and Gina are gonna do the noon class. And for the lift today, we're doing the bear complex. I can't remember. I looked at it. I don't know if it's like max weight, but I refuse to do bear complexes with like max weight. If you don't know what the bear complex is, you are going to do it's a barbell movement. If you break it down movement by movement, it would be a clean. You could do like a power clean into a front squat, into a push press, right? And lower it to your shoulders and your back squat, and it would come up and over after that back to your front rack to finish. Or it'd be a squat clean, thruster, lower to your back squat, thruster, up and over. But you kind of, all those lines blur the more comfortable you are with it, the more advanced you are just with the move. It has nothing to do with the weight on your bar. And then if you really need to break it down movement by movement to complete the whole thing, you would do a power clean, set your feet, front squat, push press, push press, right? Up and over, back squat, and then it would just push press back up and over.
They may be blind to me, just wait and see. Just wait and see. Just wait and see. Just wait and see.
What's like a little tip that you do that you think other people would enjoy?
Colby, I never do it. I don't have any tips. Did you see me?
I mean, you were getting it done.
I mean, so first of all, these legs were not made for squatting at all. They're made for lounging.
Oh, your legs?
Yeah. So I'm just not much of a squatter. So anything that's like front weight hurts my back. I'm just a little bitch.
You did really good today, though.
I did better than I thought I would. I was gonna do it with dumbbells, but
I know, but you were all even
decided
in the
to-
beginning part, the clean, power clean, squat clean. You started to move
Better?
A lot better, yeah.
Yeah, I never do it. So, and I got a good coach over here. You know.
So I asked Gina, what was like one tip for the bear
Ask me for a
complex?
tip.
Oh, what was
I said
it?
I
What was
never
your tip?
do it.
What was your tip?
I
though?
said I don't have any. I never do it. That's like probably the first time I've ever done it. I've seen other people do it.
I got a tip. I would say, at least for me, I like to keep, I clean anyways with a wider stance with my feet, because sometimes if I'm moving really fast, it's like I can move the bar faster and get under it faster if I'm already in a position that I feel really good squatting in, versus if I'm trying to really think about jumping from my jumping stance and landing in my squat stance.
So then you're already in it, so that when you go up and over.
And here's the thing, that's not gonna, a lot of people may not like that, you know? But that's
okay.
just, you know, sometimes you find things that different weightlifters do that not everyone does, or it's not necessarily taught that way, but that's how I do it. I always move better if I kind of find a good stance so I don't move my feet. In the bear complex, that helps a lot, because you can move really smooth and you don't have to maybe adjust. Like, I was able to keep the same stance from the beginning to the end, reset my bar and go again. So, wider stance. You know what I'm saying? Might not work for everybody.
I have a tip. Wear better underwear.
Yeah, her underwear keep going up front.
I don't know if I should throw away my underwear at this point or just my vagina.
Probably both. That was good. That was a good workout. Keep watching. Bye for now.
Yeah, don't be stupid.
Alright guys, I'm at Gina's house. I'm forcing her to watch me film this upper body video.
I'm being forced.
I just got back from the gym. I mean, not just barely, but a little bit ago. And we are going to, we, as if Gina's doing it with me, she's not. I am going to just share with you a couple of warm-ups or exercises that you can do for upper body, for shoulders. Great warm-ups anytime you're gonna go overhead or do anything in the gym that's going to use your upper body. And also you can use these as rehab or prehab, but it's nothing crazy. Some very basic warm-ups would be with your PVC pipe. You would do pass-throughs, always starting easier and then making it harder as you get warm. So you're just going to up and over, pass through. You can do this as well. I have the band, so I'll show you that version in just a minute. But from here, really easy. You can get your hands a little bit closer. It's going to increase the stretch. And obviously what we don't want to see, or what I don't want to see, is if you're going over and your mobility isn't great, you'll see people that will bend an elbow, right? They'll do this to get it up and over. They'll like bend their elbows. So start really wide, pass through, keep your arms straight. And you can get closer together, which is going to increase the stretch through your chest. So same thing with a band. What's great about this is as you pass through or take your arms over that full range of motion, it is going to give a little bit. So it can open up. So if your hands are a little bit too close together and you need them to, it needs to open or stretch so you can get your hands, your arms to the backside, the band is a little more forgiving than holding on to a PVC that there's no way you can stretch that and make it easier. So same thing with this. Also, we will do band pull aparts. You can do it with both pieces of the band, or you can, if you need something a little bit lighter, not so heavy, then you're just going to do one piece of it. Hands out in front, shoulders retracted, and we're just going to pull the band apart, really focusing on your lats and your scapula working, right? I don't want to see your shoulders getting hiked up to your ears. I don't want to see your shoulders rotating forward or your traps working. So we really want to focus on trying to engage and warm up all of our big movers in the upper body stuff. I am the queen of my traps, well, not so much anymore, but my traps kind of taking over in a lot of moves, shoulder to overhead, jerking, things like that. And that's not what you want. We don't want all of this to become our main muscle group when we are working, when we are moving weight overhead or doing really anything. We want this area, our lat, our scap, all of this to be what is the primary mover. Everything else is going to work too, but we don't want to overuse our trap. That's what's going to cause a lot of impingement and a lot of pain down through our first rib, and you're going to feel that through here. Plus, if we're getting stuck in this position, we're doing tons of stuff from the front rack, we're not working our back, and we get stuck here, this is not a healthy position. So we want to strengthen our upper back, strengthen our lats, and kind of get our body into a position that this is where we want to be. When you're resting, I don't want to see this. And I guarantee all of you have seen someone like this, whether it could be from how they train in the gym, or it could be people that sit at a desk all day on a computer. We kind of get into this slumped position and sit like this, and then our posture gets really shitty. So shoulders back. Focus on your upper back working, lats, and not letting our traps take over. Another great warm-up if you're going to be working overhead is with the band, we're going to pull it apart and do an overhead squat. So with a barbell, a really good cue for people is to help them maintain an active shoulder position and a good position with, you know, doing things like overhead squats or practicing snatching or snatch balance is how you receive the bar in your overhead position. So when you're working on overhead position and what that should feel like and look like in terms of just doing an overhead squat, snatching, we always talk to people about pushing up and sort of trying to break the bar in half or pull it apart, and that's just going to help keep everything in a really good position. So with the band, we can practice that without having a barbell overhead. So we're just going to take the band overhead, shoulders up, and we're going to pull the band out. So this is my nice active position. The band is giving me some feedback. It's making all my muscles work without having any added weight. From here, I'm just going to squat and come back up. Another great practice, it's a warm-up, but it's also a really great indicator for your position, is you take a PVC, and this is for finding a good overhead position for overhead squats or snatching. So you're going to hold the PVC in your hands. So instead of holding it in your palm, we're going to hold it here. If my hands are rotated out, then we know that my lats are rotated exactly where they should be. You should see my armpit, elbow, and I'm going to take PVC overhead. So I'm not going to let myself get into this position like a lot of people do. I need to be in a rotated, open armpit position. I'm going to hold the PVC, and from here, you can do the same thing. If you are someone that struggles positionally with something like a PVC or the band, and you find that you can get into the position under load, you need to be doing more stuff like this more often. We shouldn't have to add load to find the correct position. And it's like, I know that sucks, but if you actually want your body, if you want to be able to, to have the mobility, to have the strength to be in that position, to do it safely and without potentially injuring yourself or causing something to tweak, then you need to be able to, you may not have it today, but as long as you are working for it every day with your warm-ups, accessory work, then you're well on your way to moving without pain. Sometimes we move and we have pain. To move without injury, okay? Grab my softball. I've been hiding from my dog. All right, so this is something that you can do on the floor or on the wall. Honestly, I prefer to do it on the wall, but I can't use Gina's house. She'd be really upset.
Don't get my house dirty.
I think I would dent it and I would get it really dirty. So, areas for me that they can become really tight, and when I want to, I guess, work them out, I'll use a softball, I'll use a lacrosse ball. I kind of like the bigger ones. Also, it's a softball. It does give a little. So I'm gonna work through my pec, all around up in here on the floor, and then I like to I'll usually lay on the floor or up against the wall, up through my trap. Oh, I can already feel a knot right there. Right up through here, and then also up in my lat. So usually when I'm really tight and I'm having I typically get a little burning sensation or a little bit pain through my biceps tendon. This type of stuff makes me feel 100 times better, and that's why I will do it before I train, especially if we're going overhead. So on the floor, let's see how well you can see this. I'll start by basically laying on it, and you can find a good position for your arm. Usually if you're not quite sure where it needs to be for you, I will kind of move myself around until you find the spot. So it's not going to be comfortable. It's very uncomfortable, and once you find an area that is causing a little bit of discomfort, or you're like, this is clearly a knot, you just can sit there and like relax and breathe, and then from there kind of you can work it a little bit, massage it out. But if you find an area where it almost takes your breath away a little bit, you just want to try and relax and sort of basically pressure point. You're trying to like release, trying to actively release some of these muscles that are really tight. Ooh, if I don't rip my hair out. So I'll start on my pec, right below my collarbone, and I can even raise my arm above me, and it ends up coming right next to my armpit. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah! You can also find an area, get your weight on it, and then move your arm through a range of motion. So for me, I can do some handcuffs. And by doing that, you're not having to try and move your body on the softball so much. All right. Oh my gosh. You'll see some of the either positions I'm in, you can do the same thing on a foam roller. But when you use something like a softball or a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball, you can get into like deeper into like one particular area, and sometimes a foam roller there's too much of it to, ow, shit! There's too much of it to really find the areas that need the most love. So right now I'm just right on that rear delt, and I'm just sitting. Maggie! Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe, drop a comment. Yes, we will be doing a lot more of some coaching cues, breakdowns, mobility. I am actually we're gonna make a list of a lot of different things and start knocking them off. So, keep letting us know what you want to see. My dog's losing her mind. And we'll see you guys next time.